What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend, Crystal Cross, right here on the Morning Jam podcast, where we talk about any and everything. Personal, old snaps and claps. It's a dang good day to talk about a few things. So let's get into it.
What's up, everybody? It is your sister and friend, Crystal Cross, right here on the Morning Jam podcast. I am super honored and excited to have the one and only Jay Williams here on the show.
She is crazy. Crazy.
Welcome, Jay.
Nah, like I said, I made it. I'm big time now. I'm here with the one and only Miss Cross. So I made it now.
We're gonna do a repeat.
You know, all these years of sweating and hard tears, I finally made it.
Listen, I'm the one that's like, I made it, mama, I made it. I'm over here with Jay Williams. Like, you guys, his radio personality. I should have did that like at the beginning. Like, I'm about to introduce the one and only, I should have took it there. I should have took it there for you, Jay. Radio personality, manager, TV host, musician. I didn't know that. Songwriter and producer, you guys. The one and only Jay Williams of the Jay Williams Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm honored. I really am.
So let's start this over a little bit. So I just want to take it back just a little bit. Did you ever in your life think that you were going to be in radio and just being a manager, being a producer, and all that where you are today?
Nah, never at all. Management part, I was doing management before with different artists, upstate New York and different things like that. So I was managing, nephews and different people before. What made me really, after the whole thing happened with the radio, somebody asked me about doing radio, and I told them I have time to do it. But they kept begging me. It was like, man, we love your wife's music. We love your voice. You have the voice for radio. I said, yeah, but I don't have the time for radio. So I ended up doing that.
You have a great voice, Jay. I gotta get that to you. That you have the perfect voice.
I appreciate it.
He's faking and shaking this deep voice or what? But you got it, bro. You got it.
That's funny. But yeah, so we saw with the hour show, they wanted more, so I gave them a 2-hour show. And within, a couple of months, it blew to 150 plus stations. And 5 years now, it's like 400 stations, honestly. And God's just been opening doors, been making it crazy. Seriously.
That's awesome. Like, I know that you said 300 plus radio stations that your show is on. Like, that is like awesome. Like when people trying to reach just 50, but you're over 300 shows, man, how do you feel about that?
It's amazing. I said because again, against the artists that music that we're spinning is giving them a bigger audience because some people are there. You could be a local artist or you could be a worldwide artist. And one thing that I'm blessed to be able to do is help people become a worldwide artist where their music can be heard in Africa, Kuwait, London, New Zealand, South Africa, California, Texas, Long Island. It can be heard everywhere. So it's a blessing that, again, that God chose somebody like me to use this platform to really help his people because I didn't even want to do this, So I'm honored, seriously.
Listen, it just took God to take you out of your comfort zone like he did me because I'm like, I started out with Charging Station Radio, my brother's internet radio station. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. This is not for me. But look at me now. And I'm here doing a podcast. I wouldn't take it back for anything because it brought me here to meet so many people. I have like a clutch on, like I'm always connecting with people. I think it's just my heart.
Right. That's
so I love meeting people.
That's a good thing. You have to be a people's person and you have to have some personality to be in this industry. And
absolutely, yeah.
There are people that have great personality that you connect with, and it's some people you want to run away from.
That's true. That is so true.
But it's cool though. It's a good thing.
So we're gonna take it back because I know that you're all this amazing stuff, radio personality, manager, TV host. Like, how did all this come about? Did it just come from someone asking you to start on a radio station? How did that come about?
Yeah, that kind of all came together as far as the radio. But with TV, I feel like because as managing artists and just sitting back looking at artists, I have a thing that I always like to label people as misfits. Um, Even with my award show coming up, like I always kind of want to name people as misfits. It's like people that always been overlooked and taken advantage of, or people wouldn't give you the time of day type people. So I look at people when they, as far as gospel especially, if you're not somebody with a name, people don't want to even associate with you or give you. They don't want to give you that platform that you know you're worthy to have. You know, so I want to do a TV show that's not just on a local platform, but on a major platform. So the TV show being on Now Network with 239 million homes across the world, 83 countries outside the U.S. And then airing on 4 other platforms outside of that. It's like when I have these artists on here, I'm able to give them, again, a worldwide audience that most people wouldn't give them, you know. And it's not for clout. It's not for nothing like that. It's because if God sees, God had put me in position for a reason. And we have our greats like the Bobby Jones, you know, but during COVID and all that, Bobby Jones was like, I'm not going back out there. I'm not doing it. So for me, I said, well, this is the perfect time to do it. Even though I've been asked to do it for a while, I never did it. And I believe everything has to be on time and in your season.
Right,
and so the radio thing was one thing. The magazine is another thing. The TV is a whole another thing. Managing artists is another thing. Managing my network is another thing. It's just so many different things that happen, but it all has to sync together. And that's how I make it work.
So in all of that, Jay, how do you find balance for you? Like, where do you, is it like you sitting in your man's chair, what was that, Shaquille O'Neal's chair that your husband,
you know,
your wife, I see your wife, Michelle, wonderful lady, that's my sis. I don't know how you caught her, but you know, she must have reeled you on in.
I had to pay a lot of money to get her. No, I'm only playing. No, that's.
So how do you keep like your mind like focused and relaxed? How is that with all this work that you have to do? Your plate is often like overflowing with bills.
Believe it or not, I pray a whole lot. My number one thing. I pray a whole lot, and while I'm working on a lot of different things with my stations, I have an R&B station as well. I have 7 of my own stations. So out of my station, when I'm doing programming my other stations, sometimes I tune on my R&B station. And when I listen to my R&B station, I have a lot of old school music. You'll hear like the Whispers, the OJs, all of them. You'll hear some of the up-to-date music as well. But it helps me like unwind, because when you listen to church music, you got the choir, all that, and you got the quartet people, and you got the hip hop. Well, sometimes you just gotta mellow out. So I know it may sound weird, but I have my own country station, my pop station, my CCM station. I have a word channel station that plays it. I'm preaching 24/7. I got my gospel hip hop station, and I have my 81 radio station. So I have 7 of my own stations, where it's a different audience, for each platform. So.
That's awesome, Jay. I know that Michelle also plays a big part of you relaxing, because you guys have a house full, and you guys are your hearts are so big, and I look at you, I was like, man, they are working it together, and you guys are that power couple. So what would you say to that couple that's out here trying to just work together, like you and Michelle? I know you guys, it's like you guys never take a break. It's always on the go. So what would you say to them that's trying to make it to where you guys are now?
Number one thing, keep God first. That's in everything, whether you're doing it solo or together. Keep God first. If you keep God first and you continue to ask God to order your steps, He'll align everything up for you. And I think a lot of times what happens with people, they try to design their own path. They try to set their own way to go. And I always had this message I preached before in New York. When God is like your GPS, you can never go wrong. And when you're looking at your GPS, your GPS will tell you got 10 miles. It ain't going to show you the potholes in the road. It's going to tell you which way you're going. It's not going to show you the access, but it's going to show you where you're going. So a lot of times in life, we have to trust God enough to say, okay, God, I'm going to trust you and I'm going to follow you regardless. So you're going to have your stumbles, you'll have different things happening. But as long as you continue to follow God, everything will happen in His timing, and you can't rush God. That's the thing. One thing I've noticed in this industry and in life period, when I set up something to do, it never happens. But when I say, okay, God, I need you to help, or God, I'm trusting you for this to happen, things just start working out of the blue. And I'm looking like, wow, how did this happen? What? What? And so it's just, when you keep God first, like seriously, even like with my wife, like we was both to the point in our lives where I didn't want to be with, I don't have time for games. Like I'm on a mission. I don't have time to be with somebody playing games. You know, and that's one thing people have to be too. And ladies, I hope ladies hear this. If you're trying to be with a man, make sure that it's a God-fearing man. Don't be with a man because he's tall, dark, and handsome, or he got pretty eyes, nice hair, and all that, because you're going to get a tall, dark, and handsome, pretty eyes, bunch of mess. You know, and it's the same with the guys. No, I mean, you got to make sure you want the one with a nice shape and this and that, blah, blah. All it is dressed up mess. No, I mean, but when you allow God to put something together, it's going to work out better than you can imagine.
Right. That is so true. I love that. Thank you, Jay, for that. But right here on the Morning Jam podcast, the one and only Jay Williams, you guys, right here. I mean, a man that works hard, does not stop. You can see he made time for little old me.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Jay.
I appreciate you.
This is so family because we're family. Friends is out the window. Family is here. Right. So I actually met you, Jay, before I actually met Michelle. So I met you at the Spin Awards 2019. In Atlanta. And it was just the weirdest thing because when we met, it was cool. It was, like, hey, it was like we already knew each other. And the crazy thing was, Jay, I was like, okay, Jay, give me your number. Your number was already in my phone. And I was like,
wow. She was stalking me. No,
I was not.
She was y'all heard it here first. I was being stalked by Miss Trump.
I was talking Jay, but I have no idea how your number ended up in my phone. So weird. I was like, how did this happen? But you was like, well, you were so cool with it. You was like, well, I guess it was God sent. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But it was so cool. I met so many people that was like, I think it was my second time being at the Spin Awards, and it was just like meeting family. Like everybody was so cool. Everybody was like so down to earth. And I just loved it, like meeting genuine people and just having a good time and no mess to stress about, you know what I'm saying, how things could be. Mm-hmm. But I just thank God for how things just transpired for us to even meet. And I love you guys. You and Michelle is like the best.
I appreciate you. Really do. Really do.
So Jay, thank you. So Jay, how, or I can say why did you go for independent artists instead of mainstream artists? Because right now you're at over 300. You could, probably with mainstream artists be well over 1,000 radio stations. Mm-hmm. So what made you pick independent artists?
Because I just want to give people a chance that most people don't do. And I believe there's so many radio stations out here that can be a blessing to people. And what people don't realize about me, I do so much behind the scenes for people, whether it's managers, artists, labels, movie people. I do so much stuff behind the scenes for people that most people don't even know about. And it's not for show or nothing like that, but to me, if they look at my life and they say, how are you blessed the way you're blessed? It's because I'm blessed to be a blessing. God blessed me and gave me this platform so I could be a blessing to others where other people won't give them that platform. So even looking at my Gospel Hip Hop Awards coming up, and when I'm looking at the Hip Hop Awards and I look at it on major platforms, other events, they don't honor these guys. They don't acknowledge these guys, and just looking at the whole way everything is set up and being able to have a platform to really honor all these genres of gospel. Because to me, gospel is the only genre of music that have more than one level. If you have pop music, you have pop. If you got country, you have country. If you have rock and roll, it's rock and roll. But with gospel, you have gospel, traditional gospel, contemporary gospel,
Right.
gospel reggae, Caribbean, gospel hip hop. Like it's so many. But when you play,
many.
yeah, but that's the thing. But on radio, on these gospel stations, they're not playing all those genres of music. And then
Right.
when the audiences are fading away because you're catering to one audience instead of all of them. But I just want to be a blessing to the independent artists and really help them be heard, any way I can.
That's awesome. And like you had already said, I was going to bring that up as well. You have a award show that's coming up. It is the Gospel Hip Hop Awards, May 22nd, right there in Conyers, Georgia, at Excel Church, 1151 Flat Shoals Road, Conyers, Georgia. You guys, so anybody in that area, listen, go and represent. Go support Jay Williams Show. Jay, it is such an honor to have you right here on the Morning Jam podcast. We just have a few more minutes to be right here. So I want you to let me know, because for me, I want to grow my podcast. I know that you have grown your radio station and all that. So how did you get people to come in and just really listen to your show, just really show up for you and represent Jay Williams? How did that happen for you?
It all starts off with the person itself, themselves. If the person is a people's person that has a humble spirit, a learning spirit, not going in there and act like I know everything or
right.
big for that person, too big for this person. Because you never know. It could be the person that you look at the least that could be the biggest blessing to you. And so for yourself, like, you always have the great personality. You always smiling. You always, you're out with people. You're always bubbly. You have that good energy. It all starts out with a lot of marketing, promoting, PR work. Don't stop. If somebody say no, all right, that's cool. Get with somebody else that'll say yeah. And a lot of times it only takes that 1 year to help you really get out there and really get heard.
Right, yeah.
Perfect example, Clarita Haddon Jackson. And they'll tell you, when she started her Blue Flame segment, when she started her segment, they hit me up and asked me, will I interview her on my show? And I said, well, how long is her segment? They said 2 to 3 minutes. I said, man, tell Clarita I'm just going to add it in the Jay Williams show. And they was like, huh? I said, I'm going to put it in my show. So at this time, I was on 150 stations. I said, I'll put it in my show so she'll have a major audience coming out the gate. I put it in my show while I was at 150 stations. So as I grew, her platform grew. And as her platform grew, I was like, now, I love the way her show is going. She needs to make it longer. Now she has her half-hour show that's just took off.
Right.
Not with her, but Lonnie Hunter. Same thing happened with him. When Lonnie Hunter came out with his segment, it was a couple of minutes segment.
Yeah.
It started on the Jay Williams show. When it started on my show, same thing. Put it in my show, came out the gate, all over the world, and it just helped their audience grow. They got bigger people listening. So it'll be the same thing with yourself. Like, you have an awesome segment, you have different things you do. If you have your stuff set up at certain time frames, you can definitely connect with other stations, and don't just do the video, do the audio part of it. You have the audio part, you put it into your radio stations. Some people can use different parts of it as commercials, as promos, different things you can do, and just start putting it into your platform where it fits for you. So Bonita Bellamy has great segments. Clarita has segments. Other artists have segments. You have a great segment because you're always interviewing people, promoting people, marketing people. I think you can definitely blow up in this industry. I really do.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let the people know where they can connect with you and get a hold to Jay Williams, the one and only, you guys. I'm telling you.
You're crazy. Well, first, just start reaching out to my sister, Crystal Cross, y'all. Follow Crystal Cross, all her platforms, and then you can get connected. No, but now, go to my website, The Jay Williams Show 1. The Jay Williams, you see my name in the background, The Jay Williams Show 1.com is my website. That's one of my websites. You can also check out my network, Indie1, which is INDIEONE network .net. You'll see all my 40 plus stations on there. You'll go to my magazine page, you'll see my magazine on there as well. We have so many other things that you'll see on my website for my network, for things I have going on. My email is thejwilliamsshow@yahoo.com. It's my personal email. And then I have another one for Gmail, thejwilliamsshow9@gmail. Follow me on all social media, Facebook, JWills377, Instagram JWills377, Twitter JWill377. We out here, we everywhere. You know,
I know it. You're already getting followed and stuff. So Jay, I appreciate you. Thank you for being right here on the Morning Jam podcast. You guys keep tuning in. Crystal Cross, you guys drop a show every Monday, you guys, so you can connect with me at crystala.cross@gmail.com. Also go to www.thinkingoutloudnetwork.com and you can watch all of the shows, the Morning Jam podcast right there. You guys, it has been a blast. Jay, we couldn't get all of your stuff on here, bro, because you did a lot of things.
I'm honored, you know. I'm honored. I appreciate it. Yes, I appreciate it.
Once again, y'all be blessed. And peace. Yeah.
If you enjoyed this podcast, tune in each week on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends and family. Until next time, peace.